So hello, today I will be trying to write a Firefox add-on, or you call it extension, with JavaScript, and we'll be looking into the standard documentation, the official documentation to create a add-on for a Firefox browser. So let's see. So let's see. We'll be following the exact documentation over here. What does it say? Okay, let me create all the directories. Okay, the name of my add-on will be first add-on. What do we have to do? We have to create a manifest.json. This is supposed to be the first file that the browser interacts with, and they should tell the browser what is the name of your extension, what is the icon, then does it have any background scripts that are running, the content scripts that will be injected into the HTML page. Do you want to apply this particular extension all across the sites, or for all the sites that you are going to browse with your current browser, or do you want to apply it to a particular website? Let's say you want to apply it for, in this example it is applying it for the mozilla.org, or you want to use it for all of the browsers. So let's just copy this manifest.json, and after that we will modify it. We will say that this is going to be a this is a WebSocket demo add-on. What we are going to do with this is we will be retrieving the URLs of all of the tabs, and we'll be just printing it out currently on the developer console. So a simple Firefox add-on to read of the URL is to monitor Firefox browser. So right now I don't have an icon, so it won't have an icon. Then if we have to use this for all of the sites that this browser will surfing, this is going to be the regex for that. Matches version is whatever number you want to give. Let's close it. What do we have to do is, in the next version, in the next step rather, we'll have to use the background.js. Let's see how to write it. In this case, we have to add the name of our script to manifest.json, and it simply should be let's create so, and for now let's just write hello for this happens. So yeah, I think now we are good to go. We have two files. One is background.js and one is manifest.json. One will be running in the background, another will be used to used by the browser to know that what are the things that it needs to do. So now we need to load this plugin into the Firefox browser, and to do that we need to go to about debugging, because we are not downloading anything from the site or the Firefox plugins or add-ons, whatever repository it is. I don't even know if that is a term, but yeah, we need to provide the location of this manifest.json. Now it is saying that there is some error, and what does it say? That reading manifest error, processing the content scripts 0 value for okay, fine. Let's see. Firefox add-on all URLs. I think here that regular expression should be already given. Oh yeah, this is how it is supposed to be. What did I miss? Okay, so it should not have been. Fine. Now let's see. Okay, let's inspect on the console. It is printing the message. Another thing that we need to do is we need to go to about add-ons and enable that add-on for private windows, because currently I am browsing in this private window and it won't be able to access all of those things. Currently I am able to see this particular log. Where is it? Yeah, this, because it is the direct console of this background.js or whatever plugin it is. But otherwise, if I try to access any APIs, it would not have allowed me to do so. So I need to enable that from here. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to add the functionality of reading all the URIs for all the tabs currently open in the same window. So in order to do that, the process is simple. I think we need to just go to Firefox tab, add-on tabs API, and from here we should be able to read all the tabs. I think So these are the functions that are provided by the functions and methods and variables provided by the tabs API. These are the functions: capture tab, capture visible tab, connect, create, detect language, discard, and so on and so forth. These are the events. So what event do we need? I think in this case we'll need the event for on updated, because in that case we will be able to just get the URI for an updated tab in the browser window. So let me see. So it is simple. Let's just copy this for now. Let's use it as it is. Write it. Now we'll have to reload the add-on. See what do we have done. We have added a listener for on updated method. So basically, if any tab is updated, for in this example, when we switch the tab, it should be calling a method that we have provided, which is handle updated, which receives three particular objects: tab id, change info, and tab info. Now if you see, each time this method is called, these three things are logged into the console. One is object, basically first is the tab id, which was 10 in this case. Things that were changed, so this was attention false, meaning one tab. For example, this, when I switch tabs, for first tab which I am currently on, the attention variable is changed to false, and again, so it is kind of activated and deactivated property of this thing. Then if we print this tab info essentially is an object of the type tab. From this we probably can get the URL of this tab. And how do we get the URL? Okay, let's see. Change info.url. Okay, so if I go to change info, I didn't get that change info. What was different in this case? Okay, so let's say I go to what I need to do is I need to just get the URL for that tab, and in order to do that, what I will have to do is I will have to call this get tab tabs.get tab id, and from that I will have to log the URL for that tab. Automatic. Let's see. So this is tab info. Okay, this is not working. Okay, so probably on activated I will have to okay. Before going there, let's just try to log whatever is coming. So what we need to do is to log all tabs for now. For example, let's try this out. Let's ignore this. Let's do it to log the tabs, as it says that we need to add this to the manifest.json. In the permissions, where do I have to find this permission? this should be under manifest.json permissions. We'll have to add the permissions as it is. Okay, let's see. Now if I change it, here is the URL for that. So let's ignore all of these things. Here it is logging all of the URLs for the tabs in the current window. Right. Now in this case we need to add a context menu. So the aim is to add a context menu to this particular, add a menu item to this particular context menu, and to log the URL for this page. So let's do that. Firefox. We just need to add this permission to the manifest. Once this is done, we need to do a couple of things. We'll have to create the context menu. Yeah, we need to create this context menu dynamically, not statically. So menus.create. This is how it should be. So in my background.js it should be trial context. So the case is this. Let's see what does it do right now. No, it did not create any context menus. How do we add the context menus? Okay, so let's see. We need to add the context menu and we need to add the listener to that. Now it should work. Probably I need to change the context to something. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this should be the context type. Okay, applies when a user context clicks in the page. Okay, so probably page should be the context in this case. Mm, let's see. Browser.menu isn't defined. Okay, I should have paid attention to that before. Browser.contextMenus.create. Oh, this was the problem. Now onCreate is not defined. Okay, so now I will have to add a function to listen that thing. Let's use this example only. We'll have to give the exact same thing. Over here. Let's see. issues with copying the code. There is still no this thing. Is it browser action or page action? Okay, let's see. For both of those contexts, let's add let's add both of these contexts. How is it written? Browser action or page underscore action? And I think it is browser underscore action. Okay. Okay, now let's see. Is it on created is not defined? On created should have been okay. I need to write a method that will listen to the on created call. So let's write it here only. Let's see. I don't know if that is a valid JavaScript I have just written or not. So okay, apparently it is correct. So yeah, so this is the trial context. This is the context window that we have just created. Let's see if it has logged. Okay, it has said created and now it is saying undefined. Okay, so let's log the info. I don't know what does it send, but let's see. Let's log it. Clicked on it. Now it has said the information: menu ID, trial context, page URL. Awesome, we have got the page URL also. Now let's use this page URL for something. Okay. Let's only log the page URL for now. We have the page URL. let's go to some website, github.com, trial context. Do we have it? Yes, so we can access the URL from here. So what I suppose, since we know how to collect the URL of the current page, we won't need the tabs API, and we don't need to query the tabs. This should work for us now. Let's try it once. Okay, console context has changed. Hello from background.js, menu created. Now let's see. Okay, we have it. We don't need to log this. Again, reload. Yes. Oh, I didn't know that the tools now follow the overall Firefox theme. You can revert to light or dark theme in the settings panel. Okay, fine, but for now it is fine for me. Okay. So this is okay. What I need to do is I need to now receive this particular event whenever a user clicks on a context menu. Now after that I need to send this particular URL to somewhere so that I can do certain processing on that. So what I'm thinking is, let me set up a WebSocket server with not JavaScript, because I have no idea how JavaScript works, and whatever work I do with JavaScript is like this only. So I cannot code JavaScript without googling it. But what also I cannot do is to set up a WebSocket server without googling it. So let's see. And for now I've done this with Tornado, which is a Python framework for Python web framework, which is very powerful. It is also something that supports async IO. So let's see if we can use this WebSocket server, and can we create this thing. Firstly, let's get started with Tornado. Oh, okay, and now I'm switching contexts again. Let me create a simple Python environment for that. Do I have to install something along with Tornado? I don't know. Okay. I think Tornado is good enough. Yeah. When we install Tornado, it is installing Tornado now. As you can see, there is some async IO integration as well. I'm not looking into that right now. Let's just start a simple web service. Don't Okay, fine, this is also fine. uh, Hello world. So web service is working fine. Let's write the this thing, the WebSocket handler class, so that we can work with WebSockets main handler and the WebSocket handler. As you can see, I'm not going to do anything that is not available on the internet already. So I'm just going to copy the code from internet and I will be putting it together so that we can have a basic prototype ready for something that will end up hopefully using in some project in the future. Let's call it WS. Eco WebSocket. I think this should be fine. How do we online I think they should tell us if it is working properly or not. What am I missing? Okay, I need to import. Let's import it with the Pythonic way. Okay. Now our web service is running. Let's see. In this case, it is going to be WS, not WSS, local host net edited /ws connection closed. Okay, what does it say? Cross origin policy. Oh man, course. I need to check how do we handle this for Tornado. How do we enable course? Okay, let's try if it works. Tornado. Oh, someone has already asked this. Okay, anyways, so let's just assume for now that this works. Or okay, what we can do is we can write a Python's WebSocket client and we can check it with that. So in this case, let's just use this example. Okay, some data is being received. Am I not printing it? Okay, I need to print it also. Okay, so this works. WebSocket server works. Now let this be running, and here comes the JavaScript. What we need to do is we need to send a message that contains the URI. Whenever a user clicks on this context menu, instead of printing it here, it should send this URL over the WebSocket connection to this WebSocket server. Let's try to do that. Now, let's see. Can we do that? Let's see. WebSocket connection, new WebSocket yes colon slash slash localhost colon ws. Right now, then ws underscore con dot on open is equal to ws con dot send hello from addon, and let's close this. For receiving, similarly, on message is equal to console Now let's see if this works. Is it running? What is the reason? Okay, let's write an on error function to this also. Let's see exactly what is happening. Place underscore con dot on error. Does this need some permission to check? I don't think that this needs a permission. Mhm. getting anything on this. Okay. Let's see, why are we getting 403? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Need to add the check origin thing. Let's see now. Oh, now we can access it. Do we have some message? I haven't sent a message, right? Hmm. Okay. Now, since our WebSocket connection is established, what do we need to do is we need to send this URL to our WebSocket server. Right. See, now we have got this URL. Okay, so one cycle is completed. What we can do is we can maybe store this somewhere. It can be used as a remote bookmarking thing where you are accessing the internet from some computer which is not yours and you still want to get the URLs for all the sites or whatever. What you can do is you can host some sort of plugin like this somewhere. You can download that temporarily, add it to the Firefox, because this particular plugin will be removed if I close this Firefox session. For example, if I close this and if I open it again, and if I go to about add-ons, and if I go to plugins, there won't be a plugin So always remember, add it from about debugging. This will add the plugin temporarily. Now since we have this plugin now, if we google something, trial context, here it is. So yeah, so this was the trial plugin that I wanted to create at this point. Hopefully I will be making something out of it in the next session. So let's see, I will try to stream something like this every Saturday at the same time. So yeah, thank you for joining.